Those that have been following my channel for a long time now, you know that I think the world of WWE 2K14, but from a gameplay standpoint, WWE 2K26 is miles ahead and I am enjoying it. This game actually brings you the best gameplay in the 2K series and it's not even close. Obviously, there are pros and cons, so let's go on ahead and get into it. WWE 2K26 takes a step forward in terms of presentation and graphics. It's not the most massive leap that I think a lot of people were waiting for, especially with them letting us know that current gen consoles are going to be the only consoles, plus PC and Switch 2, of course, receiving this game, but we were cutting out PS4 and Xbox One, which was a huge deal. But you can definitely tell that improvements were made, especially with the newer models such as Ricky Starks, Naomi, Braun Breaker, Blake Monroe, just to name a few. You can tell that the details and improvements are most definitely there through those models. But obviously, gameplay to me is one of the most important things in a wrestling game, so I want to go on ahead and talk about that. Let's go on ahead and get into it. And first off, I want to start with the ragdoll physics, because in my first impressions, I was very just in the middle with ragdoll physics, but boy was I so wrong. The ragdoll physics are actually legit and they are really good, and it makes the matches stand out, feel different. It's to the point where a lot of these match types that I did not enjoy in years past, such as the ambulance match or the underground match, those matches feel different because of the ragdoll physics and the way wrestlers land and all that good stuff. I was doing some crazy spots off the ambulance, and it's just something that I definitely recommend you do if you are already playing this game, or you're waiting to play this game, or you're waiting on a review to play this game. Maybe you'll have your answer after this review is all over, but these ragdoll physics most definitely give a different style, a different feeling, and something that I've been really hoping for a long time. Every match that you play, whether it's an Extreme Rules match, a Hell in a Cell match, yes, Hell in a Cell, anything, it just feels different, because when you're on top of the cell, you can literally do a running bulldog at somebody at the edge of the cell, and guess who's going through that? You, the person doing the running bulldog, falls off the cell. The invisible walls on this game are completely off. There's no barrier. Now, talking about barriers and all that, please take it away from the ring next year. If I do a move where I lift the wrestler up, let me throw him out the ring. It's a video game. Let me get crazy with it at this point. There's a move out there with Jacob Fatu where you can run at somebody and they throw him all the way up in the air. Obafemi is another one as well. And Brock Lesnar, I mean, bro, Brock Lesnar's just going around destroying everybody with these ragdoll physics. But I got to give props where it's due. This is one of the best things that they've added to this game from a gameplay point, and it needs to continue. The next thing for me is weapon physics, right? We've talked about this in the first impressions, and you can clearly tell that some work was put into this, and it is good. Now, the one negative that I have with the weapon physics is that it takes them a couple business days to sell. You see them kind of take the impact, and then they just lay there, and then you see them react. And I do understand that this is new. This is almost like a work in progress to them behind the scenes. It's something that I do rather have than not have, so I'm not complaining in that way, but I do think that it can look smoother, and maybe if they could even patch that in the future or continue working on it to make those movements and that impact feel a bit more realistic, I think that would definitely help the game and it would benefit, because when you look at it, it looks nice and all, but that delay sometimes just can kill your vibe just a little bit. And I love the impact that does come from it, but seeing the game react in a delayed manner can throw you off a little bit as a player. That's just my only negative with the weapon physics. And every weapon that you can possibly think of, you can interact with the weapon physics. Steel steps is a big one for me, but one thing that I did notice this year is that the trash can got no physics, and back in years before, you were able to see the trash can get crushed. And I feel like that's one of the only weapons that didn't benefit from what 2K brought in with the weapon physics. Just my 2 cents with that. I love how these weapon physics got me playing different matches. I mean, y'all, this is the most exhibition matches I've played in a week. I usually don't like playing exhibition matches because I feel like it just doesn't do much for me, if I'm being completely honest, because there's really nothing that you're building up for with an exhibition match. But y'all, just wanting to see different moves and things like that, honestly, I'm locked in with exhibition matches for a little bit right now. So just a couple things to point out with the weapon physics and the ragdoll physics. I think that's top tier, aside from a couple cons that can be fixed. Now, you guys did hear some good, and we're trying to keep this review as balanced as possible because I can't just come in here and talk about the good. There's definitely some bad, and we can go on ahead and start with the new reversal system with the whole stamina purple bar that everybody's talking about online. Personally, I hate this thing, and the reason why is because if I wanted to go and see an asthma attack every couple seconds that I reverse something throughout the matches, I would just go outside and start running laps because I got asthma. Just from a complete honest standpoint with that, man. Like, as much as I love the game, this is a negative point for me, and it's one of those things that I think can be fixed if tuned, because I feel that it just lingers around too much. You know, when somebody says you can't have your cake and eat it too, I feel like that's what 2K is doing right now. You put us with a stun meter, and then people complain about the stun meter, and then you add another debuff on top of that. I'm just not crazy about it, man, and I've had enough time to really mess around with it, and it's just, it doesn't feel like there's much strategy involved. And if I had to be honest, this is worse than reversal stocks. If you waited out reversal stocks when they were back in the game a couple years ago, you were actually able to save up to 3 reversals. When I was playing the gauntlet match in Showcase, at one point I was only able to reverse once before I went into a debuff. So something with that definitely needs to be touched up. It is not the greatest addition to the game. It's one of those things with the stun meter that I know people disliked, but it wasn't completely broken because some people still found a way to deal with it. Now I feel like I got more homework dealing with the debuffer as well. I'm not a fan of it. I'm just being completely honest, and it doesn't really ruin the experience if you don't let it ruin the experience, in my opinion. But I think it is something that's keeping this game away from, in my opinion, being a top-notch wrestling experience, because the game is that damn good. And obviously, if you guys been watching gameplay, there are no quick grapples. I know that we all want them. We can Irish whip just right there with the snap of a button. Certain things you just still can't do yet, and hopefully it is something that they're looking for. I don't mind the grapple mechanic being in the game, but also give me an option. If I press LB and B or something of that nature to Irish whip somebody or hit somebody with a quick move instead of having a grapple and then do a suplex, like, give us both the option. If someone wants to wrestle that way, they can continue using those buttons. But if I want to go on ahead and switch it up, instead of grappling you and hitting you with an Irish whip, allow me to use one of the buttons to modify what I want to do. I feel like options and freedom in terms of gameplay is something that people are heavily looking for, especially with wanting quick grapples back in the game. And the breakout system. That system, to me, they implemented it last year, got rid of the last breakout system, and I heavily dislike this system, especially from a universe mode standpoint. It just sucks. No matter what entrance you're doing, you are literally just watching somebody come down the ramp through a cutscene, and then you get hit with the same thing. I just don't like it. In the past, you had that freedom of, if you had a stock finisher like an RKO, you can wait till somebody gets in the ring and then you get in the ring with them and hit them with the RKO during the entrance. Like, there was just so much more, and hopefully they do bring that back, because I did speak to developers at Creator Fest, and that was something for me that I just hated seeing in the game. And I brought it up to them and I let them know I think that we need a change here. You know, I think that it wasn't worth removing the last system, because there was nothing wrong with the last system, truthfully. But if they do bring it back bigger and better, which is something that they have been doing the last couple of years, then I'm all for it. Now we got to go on ahead and get into some match types, y'all. And these match types that they've added this year, we've seen lots of footage on, obviously, because that was one of the things that I was trying to share the most throughout the channel as B-roll and things like that. And the Inferno match is absolutely my most favorite match type that they've added. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, this might be the best match type that I've seen them add out of all of them. Like, I'm not even, like, this is better than Special Ref to me, Bloodline Rules to me. This is better than anything they've added. And the reason why, because I'm gonna tell y'all why, is the freedom that you're giving me throughout leaving the ring, throughout the match, coming back into it's all locked, allowing me to end the match with a table on fire or the fireball payback. There's just so much in this match type that just makes it look good, especially from a visual standpoint. I know that the community was cooking that match type when they saw the fire and everything, but man, I went into Creator Fest thinking, bro, I ain't even gonna touch that match. But obviously I gotta play it. And I just got blown away by the way the match type plays and everything, especially with thumbtack stacked tables and being able to light the table on fire within that match. It just adds a completely different feeling to it, right? And just seeing the way that I've been able to involve thumbtacks in every single match type is just also awesome as well. I know that we touched on weapons earlier, but that has to be an honorable mention. I love the fact that thumbtacks are in WWE 2K26. Is just awesome to see, and it's something that I use pretty much in every Extreme Rules match. So I just had to go on ahead and mention that, man. The Inferno match is one of those matches to me that I hope never goes away again, and it's just really, really fun to play, in my opinion. The 3 Stages of Hell match. Now, this is actually the second most played match type for me, because most of the time, if I'm playing an Inferno match, it's within the 3 Stages of Hell. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I really like the 3 Stages of Hell match. Now, there are a couple things that have thrown me off, right? Now, we got a loading screen, which I dislike. You know, I feel like at this point, we are in 2026. It's time to go on ahead and drop loading screens for certain things. I'm not gonna lie, or at least if it's PS5 Pro Enhanced, allow me to just get through it it, because I'm sure the PS5 Pro can handle the 3 stages of hell match without loading screens. I mean, can it? I don't know. I'm not no game developer, but I just got to be honest, bro. It's one of those things that kind of takes you out the immersion of the match. You know what I'm saying? It was one thing that I was expecting where, okay, if it's a Hell in a Cell match and you just pin somebody, you see that cage dropping down. You know what I'm saying? It seems like there's a cutscene. And not only that, the environment in ring and outside the ring restarts. If you're going to give me a cutscene, please allow my environment to stay the way that it was. That's my thing, because I truly feel that looking at the environment go away takes away the immersion of the match, because you're not looking at thumbtacks in a ring no more. You're not looking at steel steps in a whole nother place no more. Like, it just kind of takes you out of it, even though you do see the blood on your character's face throughout the matches. You see the blood on the mat. You see all that cool stuff, but you're not giving me enough by allowing me to keep the environment the same. I beg y'all, if there's a way to patch this in or fix this, or if it's something that you guys are looking for, if you guys are watching this video, because I don't know if y'all watching this video, but at the end of the day, I do think this is something that the 3 stages of hell match is missing. And that's just my 2 cents with it. The I Quit match is actually my least played new match type, if I'm being completely honest. It's not a bad match type. I love that there are weapon submissions for I Quit matches. I love that they're doing a whole lot of new things with this match type, and they brought in tons of new things, but I don't know, man. I just can't see myself playing it too much. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with the system either, because I love the fact that a new system was implemented into this match type, because we've seen in the past that they kind of take the route of, oh, we'll just give them the button mashing system for new match types that we add. So personally, it's not that I dislike the match, it's more so I prefer to play the Inferno match over the I Quit match. You know, I think the I Quit match is a nice gimmicky match to have for universe mode and all that cool stuff, but as of right now, it's not one of my most played match types. And again, that's not a knock on it, it's just not something that I'm heavily interested in playing at the moment. Maybe later down the year though. The scrapyard is absolutely amazing, and that kind of pairs up with ragdoll physics earlier in the video. That to me is one of my favorite matches that they've added, and it's just a great environment, y'all. You interact with everything and anything in that map, and it's just nice. It's exciting to go on ahead and play, and honestly, I can't wait to be able to play online with my friends on this match type, which we will get into the online part later in this video. The entrances are actually a step up. I felt like we had a major step up in 2K25, but 26, they just upped it a little bit more. You have the option to come out as heel or face, and you have 3 different animations per heel or face. Same with Pyro with the D-pad, and it's honestly not a bad feature, bro. I love the way that the wrestlers can do a certain face or heel animation, and they will not lose track of their entrance. They go right back to doing what they were doing, or even better, you can mix their entrance with what you want them to do with the heel or face animation. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, 2K said, yo, what is AEW Fight Forever? We got damn near everything that AEW Fight Forever had. You got barricade fighting, you got full entrances with whatever the hell you could do on AEW Fight Forever. I mean, bro, there's absolutely nothing that I would ever go back to AEW Fight Forever for after playing WWE 2K26. I'm just keeping it a buck. And the match start interactions, because I cannot forget that. The ability, right, that we have to go in there and choose how you want to start the match. Do you want to approach? Do you want to draw energy from the crowd? I mean, bro, this is absolutely amazing. And I don't use it all the time because I don't want to take that cool feeling out of it for me where it feels overdone. But when I'm doing a Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns and I want to beat Roman Reigns' ass, best believe, bro, I'll be going in there, approaching him, doing a stare down, doing a whole thing, bro. You can start with chain wrestling. You can start with the blow for blow. This is one of those things that, again, goes with the I didn't know I wanted. I'm so glad that 2K added something like this because it feels like just different. It's time to go on ahead and get into some modes, y'all. The Island. The mode is better. It's a step up. But man, oh man, there are some things still wrong with this mode. I've been looking forward to the Island ever since it was announced. And don't get me wrong, this year is much better. The cutscenes actually give this mode a more immersive feel. It's more exciting to play because throughout last year up to the end, we were playing with no cutscenes, just dialogue and pictures, and it just wasn't the greatest experience in my opinion, but I understand that some people like that type of stuff. But for me, it just wasn't my cup of tea. This year's Island, it seems to me that we are in a way better place. It seems like they took a lot more time to develop these stories, so I gotta give them props for that. The fact that there was a prestige system added to WWE 2K26's Island, and when I prestige and go up to a 90 overall and I spend my VC for it, I get dropped back down to a 75. What are we doing with this system, y'all? This system might be the least favorite thing I've had of 2K26 thus far. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have talked about ringside pass and all that stuff. Nah, my issue lies with this, because I feel like there's no warning to the player letting them know, hey, this is what happens when you go up a level. Like, there's none of that. You know what I'm saying? So I really do hope that there's a description or a fix or something. I care about the island and I want to see this mode succeed. This is not the way that it's going to succeed, in my humble opinion. The MyTag feature, I've been able to try this. Now, I beg that 2K please adds a way to invite your friends to like a squad. Like, if you play NBA 2K, you're able to invite a friend to a squad. Allow me to do that in WWE 2K. I went there with another friend of mine where I was literally sitting there trying to match up with him to make sure that we got on the same team and counting down 1, 2, 3. Bro, it was just mind-boggling. I'm not gonna lie. I love the fact that I can team up with other players and play in tag team matches, but I need a way to be able to simplify this process and actually motivate me to play. And think about it, this is just early access. Imagine when there are other people waiting at that spot trying to matchmake. What are the odds that I match up with my friend? Maybe I'm missing something and I didn't see the button, but I ain't see the button and I had to keep counting down. So hopefully it is something that we see improved. Oh, hold on. We ain't going to the next mode just yet. The online servers. Oh my goodness. The servers, they are worse than 25 at this point in time last year. Early access, I was able to play with multiple friends, no crashes. Right now in 26, try starting up a match with 4 people, bro. You're gonna be playing smoothly, having a time of your life, and the game gonna crash. The online servers, man, they've been a reoccurring problem every single year in 2K games, and it's time, man. I understand that this is not going to be the big shiny feature that can be marketed and sell the game, but the hardcore players that love playing this game online, I think that at this point, it is well deserved that we get better online servers. The servers are screaming for help desperately. I think that that's one of the things holding this game back for a lot of players as well. I'm trying to give y'all the most honest review, and that's just me being honest. These servers are just not there yet, and I'm praying for the day that they do get there. Universe mode. Because this actually was the biggest surprise to me this year. This version of Universe Mode is the best Universe Mode the 2K series has ever brought to the franchise, in my opinion. We're talking about the draft, we're talking about the freedom, the customization that you have throughout this mode. It is truly amazing, bro. And yes, they didn't add any new rivalry cutscenes or anything like that, but the promos took a massive leap forward. You're actually able to have post-match interviews. Different options were added to the promos. If you challenge someone to a match, you're able to choose what type of match type you want to go on ahead and put them in. There's just a lot of new things within Universe Mode that doesn't really rely on the rivalry cutscenes, in my opinion. But even just looking at what the game brought with the creation wizard, right? You're able to just set up what PLEs you want or what month right off rip. You're able to just do different things that really just show off the details, and it shows the time that was poured into this mode over the last year, man. This is the biggest upgrade, in my opinion, within any game mode in this year's game. It just seems like they really truly showed care for it, and I'm just really excited to continue playing it. The power tools are one of my favorite things in 26 because I'm able to reset title history, reset allies. I'm able to just control whatever the hell I want, and it's something that I've been hoping for a very, very long time. And when you look at just the fact of that, if you're starting a fresh new Universe Mode and you don't even want to see or be reminded of the last title holders that obviously are real title holders, but you want to create your own thing, you can do just that. I really do enjoy the fact that these power tools are in the game, and obviously there's so much more about Universe Mode to explore and discover once you guys get your hands on this game, but we're gonna go on ahead and keep it together with the main points because this review is getting long. MyFaction this year in WWE 2K26 has added new things, but from a general point, it's pretty much the exact same. No innovative features like auction house or online co-op, more live events at launch that I honestly could ever remember with Apex rewards, so there's tons of stuff to grind between live events and World Tour, so I won't discredit them there, but it does seem like the mode didn't really take that massive step forward that I honestly was hoping for just personally. And one thing that I have already noticed is some new Persona cards as well. Brock 01 is one of those Persona cards that already stands out to me the most. And just to speak a little bit about the grind, after talking to a lot of people that actually play MyFaction way more than me, WWE, they have already told me a lot of the grind methods that they were doing last year have pretty much been taken away. So 2K is not playing this year. And lastly, the collection rewards, it does feel like it took a step backwards. Last year, I was collecting rewards for cards like Jacob Fatu and cards like that. But this year, it seems like there's no cards unless this is something that they plan on pushing through at some point. And it's just either MyFaction points or tokens. I was under the impression when I was showed this feature at Creator Fest that it would only be for the MyFaction point tiers. If you guys remember last year, we had tiers where you just got MyFaction points, whether it was 5,000 MyFaction points or 10,000 MyFaction points. I thought that you were going to be able to choose between that and tokens instead of this. I'm very in the middle with MyFaction at the moment, to be completely honest. Now, the Ringside Pass, that is something that I have been heavily vocal about with WWE 2K26, but it's one of those things for me that personally doesn't bother me as much as it does other players. Now, maybe it could be because I grew up watching these battle passes, especially through Fortnite and all that stuff. Now, there are a couple things that does bother me, of course, and that's it being $199 a tier skip. That to me is just a little bit outlandish. You're looking at about $80 to buy the full pass if you wanted to, and that's not even mentioning the fact that you got to buy the pass first. So $10 plus $199 per tier. You're talking about $90 or close to it at least after everything. That's, in my opinion, too much money to going ahead and max out the pass. I thought that these skips would maybe be 50 cents, but who was I kidding? You know what I'm saying? But with that being said about the price, I'll tell you guys right now, you don't have to spend any money on this. I know some people are complaining about it right now, talking about they got to spend money, but you truly don't. On my PS5, I went ahead and actually finished the whole Ringside Pass in about 3 hours. There is honestly no reason for you to be spending money. Could it feel like a chore? Yes, I agree. But the one thing that people are failing to mention, aside from the fact that Legends are in the free tier, is that you're getting VC, you're getting MyFaction points, you're getting Persona cards, you're getting new moves, you're getting new taunts, you're getting a ton of stuff. And again, it may not appeal to you, but it may appeal to others. And that's just the thing with the whole DLC in general. I'm looking forward to, okay, what Persona cards could 2K go on ahead and put in this game? What moves? What weapons? What can they put in this game that can make me excited? So that's where I'm looking at this thing from now. So again, just my 2 cents when it comes down to the Ringside Pass and how I feel about it. I think it's very subjective. I think that it's something that you can find bad, but you can also find the good to it. And again, I think the pricing, that's where I'm a little bit off on it. But in terms of content and the grinding, I don't really have too much negative to say about it, because for a couple hours I'm getting 40,000 MyFaction points, tons of VC and Persona cards. I'll take the extra content for 2-3 hours. I'm just being completely honest about that one. And of course, we can't forget about the showcase. And for me, I really like the opportunity to play just the gauntlet to get through it. And I was able to play the full story as well on PS5. So it's one of those things for me where it does feel very objective based and just a chore at times, because it feels like, all right, I have these 9 objectives that I have to go on ahead and get through, which honestly, they've done a really solid job at cutting down on these objectives. But man, it still doesn't really excite me. And honestly, it should be eye-opening for 2K that a lot of people really opted in to do that hard-ass gauntlet match, which it is a pretty tough match. It takes about an hour and a half, and some people just really decided to skip it, you know? And I do believe that Showcase is one of those modes that could benefit from going away for a little bit and then coming back. We've been seeing it over and over and over again, for the exception, I believe, of 2K17, where we did not have a Showcase mode that year, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong down below, but it's one of those modes that I do want to see improve in the future, and it just hasn't gotten there for me just yet, for the exception of the in-game cutscenes. And MyRise, I haven't been able to fully play that mode out yet. Obviously, having a life and doing YouTube, it's just tough to get through all the content in this game. But what I will say is that I do like where the story is going, where I'm currently at, and coming off of a year where I felt that 25 had the best MyRise story that I've seen yet, this one is pretty much on trend to, you know, just follow up. I still don't think it's better than 25. Only thing I disliked about 25 was having to play multiple times, which this year you still do, but it's not to that degree. But if I had to give some constructive criticism that I immediately disliked as soon as I stepped into the mode, was just the cell phone situation, where you just go on your phone and you see DMs and social media, and also just seeing 2 people, 3 different people, where you just kind of just got to use the left stick to just point at them. Like, it would be so awesome if we were able to utilize the backstage area and the gorilla area and all that stuff to kind of just walk around and really explore, kind of like a Road to WrestleMania vibe. That would, for me personally, do it in my opinion. And the PS5 Pro Enhanced version, I wanted to make a segment on this because I felt that with this being the first iteration of the game actually being PS5 Pro Enhanced, it was worth to talk about. And personally, I don't think that there is so much of a difference, but it can definitely look sharper, look cleaner. And as you guys know, if you do follow PlayStation news and all that, there is a PSSR 2 update dropping at some point in March that might actually make things a bit different, a bit better. So I am excited for that. You know what I'm saying? I did not buy the console just to play WWE 2K, but I did buy it recently, and it's my main console now where I am playing most of my games, and I figured that it was worth talking about. If you are on the PS5 Pro, you may notice a couple of differences, but always remember that a lot of it also matters with the hardware. You know, I have an OLED TV, so it makes things look a little bit sharper and all that, but that's just where I'm at with the PS5 Pro. I just wanted to go on ahead and touch on that before we got out of here, man. But overall, this game is very good. There's a lot of positives, and there's also some negatives, like every video game out there in my opinion, and no game is ever going to be perfect, nor is it going to please everybody. There may be some things that I mentioned in this video that you yourself might think, oh, this sounds pretty cool. So I honestly think that this is one of those games where I think you should give it a shot. I've had the game since a week before the game dropped, and I've played it tons, but I wanted to make sure that I've played it enough to be able to give a very valid review on this. And with that being said, this is the longest review I think I've ever done, and this is the third time that I've reviewed a WWE 2K video game on YouTube, and this is thus far my favorite. I was antsy, just wanted to talk about the gameplay and all that good stuff. So again, guys, I think you should give it a shot. This is one of those games where if you like 2K25, you're going to enjoy to the fullest what they did with 2K26. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one. I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.